Alright, so back with another update to the project. I've cleaned up this area a little bit, aside from this, and it is working. I've installed Windows 10 on the SSD this time, thank God. And it works, it boots fast, and it does its job. So what I need to do now is finish off building the server over there, which will... rendering server, pretty ugly, but it'll do its job. And I'll probably have to move everything off there because that's my recording station, little area thingy. So while I'm installing stuff over here, I'm going to reinstall everything I need on this computer, such as the Adobe Suite and any games that I want. Everything to do with Steam, all my games are gone, which is quite sad, but I can get them all back because I backed them up like a good person. Luckily, I was able to grab those files before I took the hard drive out of the system. So this hard drive was my old hard drive, and I replaced it with a 2TB brand new hard drive, which isn't being recognized by this computer at the moment because it's not initialized, but I'll initialize that while I'm there. So this thing's going to be, once it focuses, Seagate 500 Barracuda. Come on, focus. No, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. This thing's going to be repurposed as just the buffer drive for, well, the operating system drive for the server, as well as the buffer drive where I can chuck all of the source files for now, because I know the source files will just add up to hundreds and hundreds of gigs. So for now, probably gonna have to set up something that allows it to automatically delete files after a certain amount of time. I'll probably set that to a week, so it will automatically delete the source files after it's done rendering them into an easier workflow file. So it will save space that way, and I won't have to intervene with it. But that's only a hope. This will also, hopefully, store things such as some movies and stuff like that, which I can access through the network once this thing is set up. So I can use Windows shares, hopefully, to set that. And this is a very big hopefully, because I've never done it before. So very much wish me luck with that, and everything will be fine over there, I'm quite sure. I'll update you once I get to it. So, quick update. The Windows server is working. Well, it's actually updating it right now. But I managed to install Windows Server, nice and easy. Then I installed Adobe Media Encoder. Why can't I say things that nice? I installed Adobe Media Encoder and Adobe After Effects just in case if I needed to do some denoising of the videos, which I don't think I'll be doing because that stuff takes so long, but it looks so nice afterwards. So I did that. It's now on its restart. I also installed a hell of a lot of Hyper-V and things I thought I would need from the server, such as remote desktop, so I can use that computer to access the server rather than having to plug in all of these peripherals. I'll just have this running and some cords coming out the back of it, and it should work. So yeah, at the moment it's doing some restarts to update itself because it likes doing that. So yeah, that is the update for now. I haven't got around to installing all the Adobe programs and everything back onto that computer, but I'll get there. I think that will be all for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright guys, just a quick update. This is day 4. Finally I actually get to have a lot of time to work on my personal project. So now I am, well, not installing but copying, if it wants to focus. Doesn't want to focus, there we go. Copying across both Photoshop and Steam, which will take forever because Steam is a good hefty 300 gigabytes worth of information. So yeah, so I'm just copying that back across to my secondary drive, 2 terabyte one, so I can finally play my games again. Not like I get to play them very often, but it's always a good thing to have them, because I don't want to be downloading that again, especially with our internet, which maxes out at about 700 kilobytes per second, which is quite slow. And this computer is doing nothing at the moment. I'll turn it back on actually. I'm going to set up the switch and, whoops, if it wants to, gotta set up the switch and connect the computers with the Ethernet cords that well, everyone knows how to buy Ethernet cords, but I bought this small little switch which should do the job of connecting the 2 computers at a reasonably fast speed. Well, at gigabit speed. That'll be more than enough to transfer files at around, well, I'm not sure, I would say about 300 something megabytes per second, but I'm most likely wrong. So yeah, as long as it's fairly fast, because it's not going to be editing videos over the server, but it will be just transferring files to and from, so this computer does the rendering while that computer is free to do the editing and anything else I want to do. And this computer will also pre-process the footage so that this computer doesn't have to work as hard to work on the files. So hopefully, in theory, that's a really good idea. I didn't think of it, but in theory it should work, and it should work very well. Yes, I know Noctua fans are very ugly, but they are very quiet. So much better having a computer that's quiet compared to this one over here, which you can quite easily hear while doing nothing. Can you hear it? Well, I can definitely hear that computer way over here quite well, while this one's just making no apparent sound, which is awesome. I do have to go in here and fix up the placement of these fans, because one, I placed them the wrong way around, and the little cord is showing, and all of this cord stuff still needs to, well, if you can see it, stuff needs to be managed, as well as a fan in the top. The fan in the top of this case is positioned the wrong way, so the airflow is quite terrible, and there's no fan in the back, and there's no fan in the front. So these are all things I'll have to do at a later date, but for now the computer is running, and it is running quite well. Its temperatures are very, very low, somewhere between 24 degrees, and the ambient temperature is about 22. If it wants to focus. Yeah, so if the CPU is running at about 24 to 25 degrees Celsius and the room is 21, that is much, much better than what the AMD thing over there is managing to get, because that processor is running at about 40 to 42 degrees Celsius as is. Like, even with the custom, well not custom, the aftermarket cooling fan and heatsink by Be Quiet, I very much like the Noctua ones because they're so much more quieter, and well, you have to pay a premium to get it, and the colour scheme is off, but they're well worth the money you pay. It's a bit big, it might not fit in all cases, including it didn't really fit that well into this case, and I had to position it awkwardly. So I had to position the fans facing vertically instead of horizontally, and that was just because this fan here wouldn't mount over the RAM, and if I had a larger case which had more clearance on the side panel, it would be able to fit fine. And it's not the motherboard's fault, it's the case's fault. So that might be something I'll do in the future, to have better airflow from the front of the case down here, up through the graphics card and the heatsink here, pushing it through out the back. But there was a video that showed, and I'll link it, a video that showed that a fan in the top of the case works best for all of the components in the system, rather than a front fan will only affect the graphics card the most, and a back fan will affect the CPU the most. So having one in the top is preferable, but don't be like me and mount it the wrong way so it's actually pushing air into the case instead of out of it. So I don't know. That was my fault and I need to remedy that. But yeah, as you can see, the Steam files are starting to copy across. Sadly, they look like it's going to take a very long time, and the USB 3 speeds are not getting reached. Well, actually, they are getting reached, but not for long because the files are so small. So yeah, I'm going to set up this computer with a share, hopefully connect the two computers with that Ethernet cable, and I'll see you once that is finished.